Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in this week to This Georgia Clay. So in this week's vlog, as you can see, my house is in disarray. We are currently moving. I know that you guys saw last week's vlog and we kind of left you on a cliffhanger. Actually, not last week, but the week prior. We took a week off. I am trying to get our videos out and try to get back to our regular scheduled viewing, but we've had a lot going on, as you can see. Our home is just a mess, and so it's very chaotic. Today we have our pod being delivered so we can get some of this stuff out of here. And then next weekend we'll be moving into our apartment. So I'll be showing you guys where we're going to be moving for the interim while our home is being built. So we'll be there for about 7 months or so. So I'll do an empty house tour or empty apartment tour. For some reason those do really good. So I'll do one of those. It's a really nice apartment, so we can just stay anywhere while we were waiting for our house. So excited about that. If I had to move into an apartment, it's a nice one, so I can definitely do it. So this is how our home is looking, and let's go ahead and get into this week's vlog where we're going to discuss why we're moving, what floor plan we actually chose, and what's to come. Alright guys, so Matt and I want to thank you guys for all of the support, and the comments were just off the chain last week. I don't they say off the chain anymore. Anyways, the comments were overflowing with love and support. A lot of heartache too. I know that you guys have followed us along from the very beginning, 3 years ago when we purchased our home. Actually a little further than that because it took 3 years. Well, we've been in our home for 3 years, but the process in terms of This Georgia Clay building our home was a year prior to that. So I want to thank you guys all for your support. I know some of you guys said that it felt like you were losing a part of the home as well too, because you've been with us for this ride and you were just as closely invested in this home as we were as well. So I thank you so much, and I'm sorry we're moving, but one thing that we've always said, that this was not our forever home. Our next home is not our forever home either, but I am going to call it our forever dream home. No, wait, what did I say it was? Our forever right now dream home. So it's going to be beautiful. So I can't wait to get into that a little bit more. But I'm going to miss this home in terms of all of the projects that we've done and the personalization that we've made in this home. All of the memories that we've had with friends, with you guys, and showing you guys each week of each projects and stuff, and life events with our kids, and our daughter graduating from high school and going off to college, and our son is graduating this year as well. He won't, graduate while we're in this home, to have a graduation party and stuff like we did with our oldest one, Naya, but we're still going to have those memories and stuff just somewhere else, but we're still going to be within our area and county until he graduates so he can finish up at his school. So that was a promise that we wanted to make and keep that, but our new home won't be done until end of May, beginning of June. Could be a little bit sooner, but it allows him to graduate, so that works out just fine. But yeah, I'm going to miss the memories in terms of Christmas. I loved decorating my home for Christmas. You know that if you've been here for a while, and then new subscribers as well, thank you so much. And that's one thing too I wanted to point out is for our new subscribers. Thank you guys so much for hitting that subscribe and follow button, because it's just, it helps to build our channel and to get more people. I mean, we have a lot more people that watch our channel rather than subscribing. And a lot of people do that. They just want to watch something really quick that they might be interested in, and they don't necessarily subscribe. But subscribing is free to you. Turn on the notifications if you don't want to turn on the notifications, or you want to mute them, definitely. But it definitely helps to build our channel, especially if we put so much effort in each week. And for our subscribers that have been here for a while as well, I appreciate each and every one of you, and new. So thank you so much, and welcome to the family. But with going forward, like I said, I'm going to miss this home, but the people that we sold it to, they're going to get a great home, and they love it. I think she might love it a little bit more than me. We've been through already where she just, the wife and husband too, they have a family similar to ours as well in terms of ages and whatnot and life events. So definitely going to a great family. So I'm excited for that. That was one thing. I just didn't want it to be sold to anyone. Our home went very quick. It was on the market for only a week. It sold in about 3 days. We spent a week or the rest of the week, just going back and forth in terms of like pricing and things like that. It went over our asking price, so I can't ask for anything more. I mean, I know that's one thing that I've seen a couple of comments where people were like, are you afraid that when you go to sell it, you're not going to, recoup the amount of money that you put into it back? Well, I got more than what I can bargain for. As you guys know, we've been very transparent. Those that have been around for a while, and then for our new subscribers, just to let you know a little background on Matt and I think that we inspire a lot of people because we've never been afraid to tell where we've come from. So this is not our first home. We had another house when we were 23 and 25 was our very first home, built from the ground up. And with that house, we went through some trials and tribulations in our marriage and everything where we didn't make the best financial decisions. So we ended up going into a foreclosure and had to do a bankruptcy. And that time in my life was just, it was a humbling experience. It was just like, it was terrible. So fast forward, when we purchased this house, I was, how old was I? 32, and Matt was 35 when we purchased this home. And it was just, if you go back and watch the empty house tour of this house, at the end of it, I cried because it was just like so much work that we had to put into it to get this home. We had to wait 4 years, which is the penalty if you have a foreclosure. Even though we could afford another home, that was just the penalty that we had to take. It's basically, the government saying you did bad and we're going to scold you for 4 years and then you can try again. So that was our process and what we had to do. And during that time frame, in 10 months, we sold or saved $68,000 for a down payment for this home. In a 10-month time frame, we hustled and worked overtime with our current jobs. We did Instacart during that time. It was during COVID. Instacart was like a big thing and it had just started. And we saved and we were able to purchase this home. So to come fast forward for all of that is insane. I bought this house with our options was $472,000. And with the down payment, we only financed, I believe it was like, what was it, maybe like $412. And then we only owed when we went to sell $395, and we sold for over list price at $700,000. So that's being very transparent. We did a good job in the 3-year time frame. So it's just to say that, you can do it, and that just because you went through one struggle doesn't mean that you can't come out on the other end, blessed. So thank God for everything that we've done. We've been truly blessed and favored, and I don't take any of it for granted. So that is our spill. That's where we came from, and I'm grateful. So fast forwarding to what we actually decided. I have little notes over here. So you've seen that we've had some walkthroughs in certain plants that we were interested in. We even flew all the way to Ohio, saw a Margot floor plan with Masterpiece with Fischer Homes, which is our current builder that we have now. We decided to go ahead and buy with them again because I looked at Toll Brothers, I looked at Century, I also looked at Taylor Morrison, I looked at Venture Communities, which is like a smaller, like mom and pop kind of company. I looked at this company called Heirloom Homes. Their homes are really beautiful. I really thought about them, but it was just a ranch. That was the problem. So the community was really pretty. The finishes were really nice, very more custom. But it was going to be a ranch again, and Matt really didn't want a ranch floor plan, even though their ranches were like off the chain. They were beautiful, and we might have went with one again, but they didn't have a lot of basement options. And when they did have a basement lot, they didn't have even an option for finishing the basement. And so that home would have been more expensive once we, made it how we wanted it in terms of like design center, things like that, and then having to pay after the fact to have someone come in and finish the basement. And that was just something that we didn't want to tackle at this current point. So, but we did, like I said, we looked at a lot of homes. I wanted to really make sure this time around that I looked at a lot of floor plans, a lot of different builders. So I made sure my final decision was the right one based on my family needs. And we decided to go with Fischer again. I know some people that are Fischer homeowners that watch our channel might have had some issue with Fischer. But we didn't have any issues when we were building this home. I know some people say, well, it's because of your channel. Well, when I was building this home, we had less than 1,000 subscribers. So it had nothing to do with the channel. I think now it might be a little bit more of some pressure on them because I definitely will be calling them out if I see some things. But other than that, though, I've had a great process with them so far. So that's why we chose them. Floor plan was amazing. They just build floor plans that I like. They may not have all of the finishes that I would prefer, but the floor plan works, and that's what's important to us. So over the past few weeks, you've seen us travel even to Ohio, to Twin Lakes in Georgia, and we looked over some masterpiece floor plans from the Winslow, the Margot, the Paxton, and the last one was the Beckett. And we looked at some options, and I think the deciding factor for us was mainly because just money-wise, we wanted to be at a comfortable mortgage. We also wanted to have... Yeah.
So it was the lake lots were like 100, like between what, 80
and 100 grand
to 150,000.
Yeah.
On the high end, plus the house already was in the sevens, right?
No, the base price of the house was like, I think the Margot was like 570 something or 580. I can look that right now. Yeah, the base price of the Margot was like 580. But that's not necessarily the issue, the base price. It's when you put all those options in it. That's the problem.
That's what I'm trying to get to. It's like the base price is already 100 and higher, right?
Yeah.
The lot prices were higher.
Yeah.
The finishes offer more finishes that cost more. So by the time you said and done, it's
almost $1 million.
Yeah. In the nines. Easy,
yeah. Yeah.
Without even trying.
And we would have to compromise on a lot of things that we just weren't willing to compromise on. And that's also why we chose the Calvin floor plan. Actually brings us back to that, because we could have went like with a Blair, which was our model in our particular neighborhood. A lot of people tend to gravitate to a model because they can see it, which makes sense. I mean, some people are just not visual people where they're like, okay, you got a floor plan in front of me and I can know exactly how the house is going to look. They need to actually visually see it and walk through it to see if it's a home for them. And I definitely get that. But I feel like also when you only build one model, you tend to have a repeated home within the neighborhood. And that's something that I cannot stand. I know in California, they'll build every floor plan that they offer. And I do like that. So it just gets some more variety in the neighborhood. But even though like Fischer will give you 9 different exteriors, you still know that's a Blair. You know what I mean? Like you'll know like that's a Blair floor plan. So that was one thing we took a gamble and got to Calvin because we weren't willing to compromise on things. Like a finished basement was something that we really wanted. And the base price of our home was something that we could afford with those additional upgrades. And it just so happened to work for our family as well in terms of square footage, the number of bedrooms, and it worked out. So that's kind of how we tend to take on things. But this time around, we did spend a little bit more on the floor plan. We didn't go with like the cheapest floor plan that we could have went with. Kind of went with a mid-grade one. We still didn't say why we liked the Margot or anything like that. Or is that okay?
We went to see those houses, right? We narrowed it down to the Margot, which we really like because of
the family room. I really love the family room because the family room gave me an option of having the illusion of a 2-story family room. We can get the vaulted ceiling option. And I love that. And I wanted something that was a little bit different than everyone else's. Like the Paxton gives me the 2-story family room. One thing that I liked in the Beckett was the 2-story foyer. When you first came into the house, I loved how that looked. So keep this in mind. It gave us the 2-story foyer. The Margot gives us the vaulted ceilings. And owner suite on the main level. The Beckett gave us the 2-story family room as well. 2-story foyer as well. And a beautiful kitchen. We gave a really beautiful kitchen in the Beckett. And then the Paxton would give you, let's see, the Paxton, what was one thing that I loved about the Paxton?
The Paxton gave you the fake basement.
Oh yeah, it did give you like a full basement kind of thing, and I love that. But in terms of one that we can compare to our floor plan, that we kind of got all of them in there. That was it that we liked about the Paxton.
Pretty much.
You really like it?
Double door
entry into the bathroom. Like the bathroom was really nice, so I guess we can include that. The Margot was our choice that we would have gone with if we got a masterpiece floor plan. And that was one that I really loved. But one thing I didn't like about the Margot is when you first open the door, the stairs are right there, and that just wasn't something I really liked. I just felt like it was kind of crammed in that area, and it didn't give me a space to put my entry table. I couldn't really decorate it. It was just kind of like, welcome, you're kind of right there and you immediately have to file into the family room. So that was one thing that was kind of weird for me, but I did like the butler's pantry. I liked the kitchen, the morning room, and the primary bedroom. And that's in the Ivy floor plan. So the plan we chose is the Ivy, and it's right here. It's so beautiful. We decided to go with a 4-foot extension bump out here. We ideally wanted a 3-car garage. I know that was something that Matt really wanted. But unfortunately, the lots that were remaining didn't give us that possibility. So the other thing that we could have done was just the 4-foot bump out, which still gives like the illusion of a little bit more, I guess. So it's really pretty. We went with a modern European exterior. That's different. Where in terms of I have a brick home instead of a board and batten home, which I do love that. And we also went with black exterior windows, and I can't wait to see that because this home has 29 windows. Every place where I was able to put a window, I put a window for more natural light, just more openness. I don't know. I just love that illusion of like bright, airy. So I figured I would go with the windows. The windows are only black from the exterior. I wish they were black in the interior. That's one thing I'm still thinking about if I'm gonna have someone come in and paint them. At least for the windows in the back of the house that don't have any, like, may not have like a curtain, not curtains, but shutters or something on them, because we don't have neighbors anymore directly behind us. So if I wanted to keep those uncovered, I definitely could. So especially sitting up on a basement, it's not like anyone can see directly. If I was on a slab, most definitely I would cover the windows, but because I'm not on a basement, that's something I can consider. So yeah.
All right, so we're gonna break this down. Like Brittany said, we did look at a lot of models, and then we ended up narrowing it down to the Margot. And then the Ivy came out. We didn't know about the Ivy at first. It is a brand new plan. I think they came out with like 3 or 4 different new plans added into the mix. So we looked at the Ivy, and I think we've seen so many floor plans at this point that we could like envision it just by looking at the paper. And then it just kind of jumped out like, okay, you could still get vaulted ceilings, you could still get this and that. So maybe we should think about maybe getting a designer class at home, which is a lower starting price, but then we can load it up kind of how we did this house, versus trying to get a bigger 2-story and not being able to do as much to it. This was kind of the same scenario where we could say, hey, maybe let's look at that option, and then we can do basically spend more money on things that are more important to us than just the house. So we'll start at the basement and then work our way up to let you guys know what the similarities are and why we chose the Ivy. So starting in the basement, which would be my domain now. So I'll still do it like a dark and moody office like you guys have seen on the channel. Probably all black. Maybe like a stained wood ceiling, shiplapping beams. So that's the kind of vibe I'm going for. That will kind of spread out into the basement space. So the rec space, I'm still looking for it to be dark, because that'll be like the movie watching space. The guest room, I'm not sure yet, so we'll kind of leave that in the air for right now. But there are 2 unfinished spaces in the basement, and we'll put a graphic up on the screen just so you guys can get an idea. But one side we'll probably do storage, and then the other side we may do a theater or a gym. So, and then we'll kind of work our way up from there.
Yeah, and we'll still have a finished bathroom in the basement too.
Yeah. Forget about that.
Yeah, so we'll still have finished bathroom in the basement. We'll still have the wet bar rough-in, which we plan on getting done sooner rather than later, because that's something that I don't want to miss out on and us not upgraded. That was an option with Fischer to do a wet bar with them, but because the IV4 plan is so new, they really didn't know, even at the design center, how it would look. It was an $11,000 upgrade, but they couldn't tell me if it included like a bar area, so a countertop, additional seating for people. It just basically looked like on the rendering that it was like a kitchenette where it was against the wall. And for $11,000, it just didn't make sense to me for an upgrade, so we decided to leave that out. But we definitely did get the rough-in, so we can try to do that later. I'm pretty sure it'll be similar pricing if we did it after the fact. So we'll leave that area for a future project, but sooner rather than later for that project, because again, I don't want to end up, it's 3 years in and the wet bar isn't done. So that's something that's a top priority for Matt and I to get that done for him, because I did promise him that he'll have the basement of his dreams. Especially, I felt kind of bad because the Margot basement had an area for a theater, and it was like designated for that with double door entry and stuff like that. And so that was like something that kind of tore me back and forth, like, if we should go with the Margot or not. But just like Matt was saying, like, just financially, it was just more so, it just made sense to get. I just didn't understand, again, the $100,000 price difference and base price of the home when the square footage wasn't there. It wasn't as if I was making the home larger. It just cost more. It just didn't make sense. Like, if it was automatically the base square footage of the home was 4,000, and then I'm making it bigger by doing the basement, then something to consider. Then I would have like almost 6,000 square foot home. But if I'm just paying $100,000 more and I can still finish the basement and the ivy and the square footage that it comes with, and it's on par with another masterpiece home, then why would I spend that? I think some people get caught up in what masterpiece can offer in terms of, the upper cabinets or, getting cafe appliances. I can buy cafe appliances after closing, or just saying that it's a masterpiece home, but it's the same builder, same materials. Your same insulation goes into that home just like my insulation. Same contractors work on that home just like they do in the designer. So I really didn't see the benefit of it. I can definitely see if it was a custom home and I was spending that price difference, and then I would look at that, but that's my spiel about masterpiece. So going up onto the main level, that's kind of going to be my territory, my domain. There is going to be, when you first come into the home, is an 18-foot foyer before you get to a 2-story foyer. So I'm excited to see how that's going to come together. And then to the left will be my office. And with my office, I did double doors into the office, and I did all glass, see-through glass or open glass rather than grids. And then I did a transom at the top. I figured that gave the illusion of larger doors than what they really are. And then as you come further into the home, to the left is going to be a half bath. We went a little bougie in the half bath for guests. They have a beautiful toilet in there. And then we kept the same quartz countertop in the kitchen in that half bath too. There's a window that I added in there as well, just for more natural light or whatnot. Of course, it'll have a window covering on it, but it'll just be really pretty for, it'll be a filtered, probably shade or something to let light in, because we don't have a neighbor to the left of us. So that's good for that bathroom. That's why I put a window there. If I had a neighbor, I definitely wouldn't have gotten the window. And then, so we plan on doing some nice upgrades in there. I really want to do like some picture molding trim this time around. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to put it in that bathroom. Walking further into the home, it opens up to a 2-story foyer. For the stairs, this time around, we upgraded the stairs and did wood on the stairs. Living with carpet, I definitely knew that was something I wanted to upgrade this time around. And this time around, we had the capabilities of doing a lot more upgrades than we did in this current home. I know some people might say, well, why would you do all those upgrades when you can do those upgrades on your own? Because it took me 3 years to do those upgrades in this home. And we kind of just want to move in and enjoy it for a while before we start like doing our customizations and making it like really personal to us. But we know that flooring, we're not willing to do that. We tried it once, not doing that again. Except I really do love the pill and stick application in the kids' bathroom that I did, and I'm gonna miss that project so much. It's so beautiful, and I don't feel like I got to look at it long enough before we sold. So I love it so much. We did choose some tiling for our laundry room, but I really want that diamond shaped tiling. So once I get tired of the tile that we chose in there, then I might cover it up, but that's an option that I can do. I just do the pill and stick and it'll look pretty. So that's something. So once you go through the 2-story family room, which we did modern railing this time around, we didn't do white balusters, we did metal railing. So I think that's going to be really, really pretty. What else did we do? You'll come into our family room, which is a 16-foot vaulted ceiling. So I think that's going to be architecturally beautiful and different. It's not just your normal 2-story boxed ceiling. So I think that's going to be pretty. We plan on putting beams in there, which is a project my husband will complete. I'm scared of heights, so I ain't getting up there. So I think that'll be beautiful. Our kitchen we splurged on. So the upgrades that we did do was the kitchen. Did you want to talk about the kitchen?
Talk about why you picked that kitchen, because it has windows.
Well, it had 3 options for the kitchen. So for the kitchen, the standard was just cabinets that went all the way around the back. Upper cabinets went around the back, but they were like 36 inch. Of course, if you wanted to upgrade them, you could have done like similar that I have in my home now with the multi-stack. And you could have did like a wood hood. I don't like their wood hood. I think it looks unpleasant. I'm going to leave it at that. I don't like it. And so I could have done that with 42-inch cabinets and 36-inch cabinets. And then the third option was I can remove cabinets and put 2 windows on either side of the range. And that's the option that I decided to go with. I'll put in a picture of my inspiration of why I chose that and how I would like my kitchen to look. So that'll be a picture. But basically I have two 42-inch cabinets on both sides of my hood. I did a metal hood this time, which I'm going to replace the hood and get a custom hood built. But I figured the more natural light, the better. And I don't necessarily need a lot of cabinets because this time around the kitchen is longer than my current kitchen. So I'll have 5 cabinets at the bottom plus the island and some cabinets on the side. And I did a gourmet kitchen. So I have a built-in oven a double oven, and the refrigerators to the left of the house. And then you'll walk into, instead of the pantry where I currently have it now, it'll be like a hallway, and I'll have a butler's pantry, and the butler's pantry has a window that I decided to put in there as well. It has glass cabinets, so 2 42-inch glass cabinets, similar to what's on the side of my microwave now, my range. So they'll be there. I'll have a sink and a wine fridge and some cabinets underneath. So I can't wait for that. And then of course a regular pantry, but the pantry's towards the back, which is awesome because my family leaves the pantry door open. So now when it's open, you won't be able to see it. So that's a good thing. And then our bedroom is on the main level. So just us. And I actually have a morning room for my table, my kitchen table now. I plan on one project that I really want to do is to add a fireplace in the morning room. I think that's going to be so beautiful. I know that I said that I wanted to do it in the Margot, and I will still have that same space in the Ivy. Another thing too that I loved with the Margot is it came with a covered deck or porch, depending if you had it on a slab. And so I still get that, but this time around that makes it even better than the Margot is it's enclosed. So the morning room and our primary room enclose that area. So the covered porch is in the middle, or the covered deck. So I do love that because no one can see us from left or right. Again, we don't have a neighbor on the left of us. We just have a neighbor on the right. But because I extended my bedroom, they wouldn't be able to see me anyway. In the back of our home, we don't have any neighbors behind there too. So complete privacy. I love that. We did do a pre-wire out on the deck for a ceiling fan. So we'll have that. We'll probably do a screen it in, but Matt wants to do like a retractable screen. So I'll probably do that and do some underdecking under the deck because we do have that area, and we extended the concrete under there. That was one thing from the basement to 12 by 12 to 12 by 16. So we did that. In our bedroom, we extended it 4 feet. So it's a larger room. We have 5 windows in that bedroom. So a lot of windows in this home to put on, 5 windows. So a lot of window coverings that we have to get. We did double doors into our bathroom. We did a luxury shower. It's not as big as our current shower, but it still has the 2 shower heads and 2 shelves. Not shelves, 2 benches and niches as well. What else did we do? Oh, we'll have a linen closet in our bathroom, which we don't currently have now. So I do love that because my kids can mess up some towels. So we can have the adult Turkish.
The good.
Yeah.
The good thread counts.
Yeah, exactly. So we can have that, the Egyptian cotton towels. So yeah, we can do that. And then we have the same colored cabinets that we currently have in our bathrooms now. We did in that one too. So they're fallow. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then, we did extend the wood flooring throughout the whole main level except in our bedroom. Oh, and then the fireplace is a stone fireplace that we did. That'll have a hearth, a raised hearth, and a cedar mantle. And we went with like this color it's called Desert, but it's really pretty. And I think it goes well with the house. And the house will still be white. We did still choose white, of course. I like that because it gives me a palette to work with as I decide to add color. And if I don't, then it just stays white. So that's what we did. But Matt's going to tell you what we did upstairs.
So what did we do upstairs? I mean, I think the biggest thing that it was like a non-negotiable going in was getting the wood stairs, like from the basement all the way to the second floor, because you don't have to worry about ripping it out later and spending thousands. Just go ahead and get it, because there were certain things that we knew we didn't want to deal with later, like flooring. We tried to find the best color tone of engineered wood floor that Fischer Homes offered, and went with that, and it came out pretty nice. So we'll have that. We'll have the wood on the stairs and the box posts, because right now our stair posts are like, they have like the little ball on top, and we hate it. Like I've hated it since we moved in, but now they offer like a square post, and I'll put a picture in, but they offer that. So that was like a no-brainer. We got that. We got the color of the railing that we like. So we got that done, and we took the wood all the way up the stairs to the second floor, and expanded that into the loft in the kids area, but their bedrooms will stay carpet, which is fine. It's just the high traffic areas. We knew we wanted to have wood and wood stairs. So that's what we did upstairs. And then in Jalen's room, his room is pretty much going to be like the theme of our current house, like black wood tones with some white. More moody, modern. And he has his own bathroom, so his bathroom is going to be pretty cool. It's going to have like a vertical stacked, not stacked, but did we do stacked or
No,
running bond?
Offset, running bond.
So it's like a vertical offset running bond pattern in the shower with like a diamond black and white penny tile. So that'll be pretty cool. I'll put a picture of that up too. He'll have a fallow vanity with white countertops. And then later on, we'll do like a black shiplap. He wants a black shiplap behind his mirror. And then we'll swap out the vanity light for something else that's like a black and brass. And he has a black tile floor in a diamond pattern. So that'll be pretty cool. I think it'll come out really nice. But I think he'll have like a chill vibe for him to, come straight out of high school and kind of have his own little space where he can meditate and do what he needs to do before he goes on to school or whatever the next phase is going to be. And then Leah's room is going to be light, bright, white and brass. Her bathroom's really, really light. So it'll be like light colored floors with a little pattern, star pattern on it. White and brass vanity. And we did a marble look tile in the shower.
We just did a white tile.
Just white.
White tile, and then she has a bathtub.
And she has a tub. We wanted to keep at least one tub in the house,
She wanted a tub too, so stuff,
just for resale too. Just have at least one tub in the shower because we know we're probably gonna sell this house. We'll stay there longer, but we'll definitely want to sell later to get something that's even more of a dream home, more custom. So that was Leah's room. Her bedroom will pretty much stay like light and bright, which is cool. We'll kind of tailor it to her because she's a little older now, so try not to make it too kiddie.
Yeah.
And then what else is up there? The guest room.
Yeah, which is Naya's space too. I'm still gonna make it really nice for her if she visits.
So it'll be guest room / Naya's room because she just visits every so often. But we'll make it, if you guys remember the guest room, we'll do that same concept, pretty much the whole room in board and batten, same way we did that, but it'll be a different color. So we'll probably go with something like an accessible beige, something in that family. But the concept of the room will pretty much be the same. So we'll redo that. And then I think that's pretty much it for upstairs, right?
Because the loft, I want to duplicate that what's down here right now. So the loft, I want to duplicate kind of what we have right now in the media space down in the basement, but not the same color. So it'll still, obviously the walls will stay white, but I want to do another built-in cabinet for like media space. That current TV that's there will go up in the kids' loft. And then I like the slat wall, so I'll probably incorporate that as well, but it'll just have white cabinets rather than black cabinets with brass hardware. I think that would be really pretty up there. And then the, let's see, the sofa that's upstairs now, that leather sofa will go up there. And if I'm not able to sell those accent chairs, I'm pretty sure those black ones will go up there too. And then we'll get like a nice rug just to protect the floors a little bit. But, and then if they wanted to lay on the floor, they could, because there's a rug there. I'll get a nice cushioned pad to go underneath it. And I think that'll be good for upstairs. And then also we did a pre-wire in the loft too, so we can do like a ceiling fan or something so we don't have to cool the whole house essentially. So that's one thing. But yeah, I think it's going to be gorgeous. I think we really went into the design center of making sure that our kids that are still living with us in the home had everything that they wanted in terms of their spaces and stuff. We asked them before we went to the design center, like, what do you think? Can you send me inspo? And I think we were kind of spot on with what we could offer with the options. But yeah, we definitely didn't want to deal with flooring. So we upgraded the flooring to the T in this home. In our laundry room, we didn't talk about that either. The laundry room, we decided to go with cabinets because one thing that I've noticed in this current laundry room is my pedestals on the bottom of my washer and dryer are not deep enough to put like, the detergents and stuff. Like if I go to Costco and buy one of the bigger ones, I can't store them under there. They've just been sitting on the side of the laundry and it just aesthetically isn't pleasing. So we did go with cabinets. Every cabinet in our home is shaker, which we couldn't do with this current one. It wasn't even an option when we bought this house. So we do love that, just for it to be cohesive. And I love the shaker cabinets in our kitchen right now. I just wish they were in every bathroom or every room that has cabinets, so we get to do that now. And let's see, and we added a sink in our laundry room. Yay. It's a utility sink, which we will change out to like a nice vanity sink or something like that later on, but not really a priority right now. The utility sink works just fine. And also it depends on how we use it, because it could just stay a utility sink, because we're going to be using it for like paintbrushes and all those things that I normally use my farmhouse sink for can finally be in the laundry room, which I'm looking forward to that, because that's been a pain. Like when I'm washing all my paintbrushes out, or just our hands being dirty from working on client projects and stuff, I can just do it there. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, when that's done, we'll probably just swap it out.
Yeah. Once we're done with the house. Yeah, I guess that would be a good time to change it up, is after we mess it all up. So yeah, that makes sense. I can see that being done. But yeah, I think it's going to be beautiful. I can't wait for it. We have a smaller backyard than we currently have now, which is okay. I mean, I thought that I would use our backyard more than we did use it, but we really didn't use it that much, even though a lot of you have been around and we did. And that was one thing some people in the comments said, didn't you do projects on the outside of the house? But when we did the finished house tour, I forgot to go outside and show the things that we did. So yeah, we did put in a fire pit, which was a DIY with us, and designed and put it in. Matt built me a beautiful pergola. Like I put my heart and soul in planting and stuff, and my parents planted with us in this backyard, and I just love those things that I'm gonna miss. I wish I could take all of my plants with me, but I can't. But in this new house, it's gonna be beautiful. It really is. It really is. And I want to make like a moon garden, so like my theme will just be any plants that flower white, and I think it's gonna be so beautiful. So that's kind of our thing. And then I'll add color with like planters and stuff that I can put on either side of the garage or something. But I can't wait for it. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna take about 7 months to build. So we'll be in our apartment, but our apartment's nice, and I can't wait to show you guys. It's a brand new apartment complex, so it's only, I think, not even a year old yet. So I think it's gonna be beautiful. We're gonna enjoy, and during this time we're gonna travel. My daughter got an internship at Disney, so she's going to be in Florida. She moves there in January, so lots of kudos to her. So she's going to be doing that, so we get to get in free. So we will be enjoying that during that time frame while she's there, because we spend too much on Disney as it is. So now getting it back free, I'm going to use that. Okay. So we're going to do that. We're going to travel, enjoy, and then be locked into the house and start on projects and stuff and everything, because we love being home, and that our home gives us, it's our peace, our sanctuary. So why not? That's kind of what it is. So anyways, so thank you guys so much for tuning in this week to This Georgia Clay. We're going to take you guys along the ride with us, showing you weekly updates with the house when we have things to update you guys on. Another side note too, I know people will probably ask, like, what about Matt's mom? She's moving too, but she's going to move right next to us in another community. It's called Crestwind. It's a 55 plus, so she'll be moving there, and she's going to enjoy it. Her new home is beautiful as well, so maybe I'll ask her, like, if we can show, like, once it's done, kind of like a walkthrough or whatever, so she can keep it as a momentum as well. So, because it's hard to try to record both homes, like, it's just too much. We did that before, and it wouldn't be. But when it's all done and built, her home is going to take longer than us, though. It's going to take about a year, what they say, 12 to 14 months to build. So it's a little bit more in depth than those type of homes, but it's beautiful. So she'll be right next to us. We can't wait. We really can't wait. I think the most thing that we're excited about is getting a golf cart. So maybe that tells you kind of where we're moving to, but it'll be a golf cart community, and we can't wait. So again, thank you guys so much for enjoying the ride with us the last 4 years in This Georgia Clay. The next 4 or 5 years are going to be amazing as we get ready to decorate this home and show out. So we thank you guys so much for your support, new and old, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.